Welcome to lesson 18, skinning and constructing mouth. There are two video resources that you can look at. This is actually about skinning, and the second part is about constructing mouth. You can see that from this link is actually the link of constructing mouth of a minion. Okay, in lesson 17 we have learned about bone construction. In this lesson we are going to learn about skinning. Okay, skinning can be understood as a process of putting skin on a particular bone structure. A thorough tutorial was prepared by Autodesk and can be accessed at this link. But for this particular lesson, we are going to actually refer to a mixture of videos that I actually watched before and also this particular video resource. So first, we will start with a revision. Okay, first let us put bones inside an object. In the previous lesson, okay, we already created this one. So I hope you guys have also constructed bones as following. So currently the bones is outside. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to move the bone inside the alien. So I have the file over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select this one and I'm going to move it inside. That's it. Okay. So as you can see, some reminder over here, you can see that the triangle part is actually the moving part, the one that is going to actually rotate and bend. So this is actually just connected to the lower one. So make sure when you are actually building up your bone is going to be having a certain structure. Okay, now I'm just going to render from the perspective viewport. So in this case, if I actually select this one and I render it, and you can see that even though the bones over here is actually outside, you can see that it's not shown because bone by default will not be shown. Okay, next we will start with the skinning procedure. So firstly, you select the alien model and then you go to modify panel and click modify list skin. So select this one over here, you will select skin, S-K-I-N, and then select skin. Okay, now after you select skin, what I'm going to ask you to do is that you click add. I have a notes over here. When you click add, this select bones will appear, and please click Ctrl A to select all bones, because okay, let's just see what happened. So if I click add here, if I select this particular part, I click here, shift, okay, control, then I will not select the one lower here. So what I do is that I click Ctrl A. As you can see, all bones are selected, and then I press select over here. Once I click select, you can see over here the list of bones is already there. Okay, so this is actually a very easy step because once it's inside here, the next part, let's save the file first. Save the file before you start animating. So name it as something attached. Okay, so I'm going to save this one, save as alien bone attached. I'm going to save this particular part. Okay. The idea of this one is that you make sure that you keep saving on the name, on the different name, different versions, so that if you do some mistake, you can actually go back. Otherwise, you cannot go back. Next, select a particular bone and we are going to rotate it. Okay, so I'm going to select here. So in this case, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, it's probably a bit difficult to select as well because it's just selecting this one. So you have to hover up to the point that the orange, the yellow lines actually appear. You click this one and then you rotate. Okay, now you can see once you rotate, then it will also move the model over here. It's a bit bad over here, you can see. Okay, don't worry much about it. Let's just move something that probably not going to affect that much. Okay, so I'm going to move this one first. Okay, I'm going to move this one first, and I can also bend it to this side perhaps. Oops, not selecting this one, I'm just selecting this part, my bad. Okay, probably do it a bit like this. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, something like that perhaps. Okay, as you can see, when you're moving the bones, then the skin will also move. But if you move a bit more, then you can see that it cripple a bit down there. Okay, so we don't want to make it cripple, so just move it accordingly. And for your first task, rotate the bone so that the skin is also moving, something like this. And please avoid the skin from crumpling. Okay, I don't want this. So task 18.1, please send this particular part. You can pause this video now. Number 4. Now, as you notice, if you twist your bone to a certain degree, the model may break or crumple. Now, what we're going to do next is that we're going to do it so that the skin crumple. Okay, so let's just go here. I was trying to rotate this one just now. Okay, as you can see, it's crumpling. Okay, and when I was trying to rotate this part as well just now. Okay, here. Okay, you can see this also crumple from this side very terribly. Okay, something like this. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's gonna work well or not because I used a different one just now. Maybe I can actually do it from the front side as well. Okay, I select this part and making it like a bit more here. Alright, so you can see that it's actually crumpling. Okay, once you have this one, okay, let's render it so that you can see how it looks like. Okay, so it's really bad. It's really bad. Okay, never mind, you already know that. Now, in Modify panel, under Skin, scroll down to Weight Properties. So, if you go down here, okay, then you can see there's a Weight Properties. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, no, select this part. Okay, under Skin, not the bones itself. Then down here, okay, then you can see Weight Properties, Weight Solver. So what happened is that the way that the polygons moving is basically affected by a certain weights. So this one, the default is voxel. We're going to change it to heat map. So with heat map, okay, you click this particular button and then you will have heat map solver. You have to adjust this depending on your model because this is a bit of try and error. But for this one, I just basically use the default value fall of 0.2, max influence 0, and then I've clicked apply. Okay, give some time. You can see over here computing heat map weights. It's written over there. Suddenly it looks not responding, but it's actually responding. Then you can see now that it looks much better. There's no more crumpling. It's much smoother, and it's actually very nice over here. If I actually try to render it, okay, if I try to render it, and you can see it's actually pretty smooth, pretty nice for an animation. This is actually quite acceptable. I mean, depending on what kind of animation. For realistic animation, perhaps it's not so good. For cartoonish animation, this is actually pretty good. Okay, so I click close here. Now you can see I say here give it few seconds. Task 18.2. Now for task 18.2, I want you to animate the alien, make it run, jump, bend, or move forward. Record it and send it via WhatsApp. But tips: you can hide the alien and only move the bone when you are to animate. So basically what you want to do is that I'm going to click here or here actually, Scenes Explorer, hide the box. So when you try to move, what you can do is that you basically just move the object. If you want to animate, basically you can click auto key and then you can actually move it, make it jump, make it kick around perhaps. I'm not sure whether it's going to broke or not, but you can try. Okay, and then perhaps it's going to look quite okay as well after that. Okay, so once you actually look at the box, then you can see this moving.